Alright, welcome back to Tikio Takes, and in this video we're going to rank every single UFC Conor McGregor fight, and I thought this was a pretty fun idea because Conor was kind of like Guns N' Roses. He wasn't there for a long time, but when he was, magnificent, because he only had 14 UFC fights. 14. And in that span, he did a lot, so that's really impressive for Conor. And let's go ahead and rank all of his UFC fights. So first, let's kick things off with his rematch with Nate Diaz, and this is regarded as one of the best fights in UFC history, as it should, because it was tremendous. Conor, just like the first fight, started things out really well on the feet. Was piecing up Nate Diaz. I remember in the second fight, I think it was the second round, he dropped him like three or two times. In the last one he did, he just went boom boom, and dropped him. So nice and so fluid on the feet. And then, just like the first fight, he started gassing, and at the end of the second round, Nate started unloading on him, and people think that Nate won the second round based off of that, even though he got dropped like 3 times. So no, Nate didn't win that round. Nate won rounds 3 and 4, and then Conor got 5. Me personally, I think Conor won the fight 1, 2, and 5. But I know the decision is debated a lot, but I personally think it's pretty easy to score. But yeah, this was a tremendous fight. I think this belongs in S tier because it was an absolute war, especially by that 5th round. They started grappling more, and that's when things just got so like, oh my gosh, Conor may lose his fight. It got to the ground, but then they eventually got back up and swung it out for the last 10 seconds, and it was just tremendous fight. Because Conor was destroying him, and then Nate came back, and then Conor came back. So it had momentum swings. It had comebacks. It had all the makings of a fantastic fight. So definitely Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2 absolutely is going to be in the S tier, and that might be a hard one to beat. Then next up we have Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway 1. So in this fight, Conor McGregor was working Max on the feet. The only things Max was landing in this fight was a lead leg kick and right hand every now and then, but it was just Conor McGregor doing his classic switch kicks, kicks to the head, kicks to the body, his teeps, spamming his left hand. It was a classic Conor McGregor showcase in the first round, and then I want to say it was near the end of the second round, whenever I don't know when he did it, but Conor tore his ACL. It was pretty clear because in the third round, his back leg was just not moving right. So Conor took him down. I don't know if it was when he took Max down, but he injured his ACL, and he had to resort to being Conor McGregor. Okay, he had to wrestle Max. Every time it got back to the feet, he immediately just shot a takedown again because he couldn't stand. He couldn't extend his knee. That's the thing with an ACL injury. When you injure your ACL, when you try to extend your knee, it's gonna hurt really bad because what the ACL does, that prevents you from extending your knee. So when it's injured, it's really easy to hyperextend your knee, and that's where a lot of the pain comes from. So Conor couldn't throw kicks with that leg, which he normally throws a lot of them with his back leg. He throws a lot of lead hook kicks and all that, but he throws a lot from the back leg, so he had to resort to grappling. So it kind of got boring. At least he went for a little bit of ground and pound, but nothing crazy. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest of fights. So I think I'm gonna throw it in C tier. But if it stayed on the feet for 3 rounds, then it would probably be a B or A tier for sure, because it was pretty exciting. Because Max never got wobbled, even though he ate such a big uppercut and it didn't do anything to him. So it would have been a great 3-round showcase for Conor, but he ended up getting the win even while injured. So a very impressive fight for Conor. Next up we have Conor versus Khabib. I think this fight is really carried by the aura of it, because it was the most anticipated fight in UFC history. It was the most heated rivalry. So the atmosphere, Conor's walkout, it really carries this fight, because other than that, it was Khabib controlling Conor for rounds 1 and 2, landing good ground and pound, and then Conor kept it on the feet in the 3rd round, and pretty much all he landed was jabs and then left to the body, and then in the 4th round, Khabib took him down once again and submitted him. And I can't put what happened afterwards, Khabib jumping in the crowd, taking out Dylan Dennis, because that wasn't in the fight. So I can't give that a boost. So I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put in B tier. It might be low on the B tier because it was pretty much a Khabib dominating. Because it's not like Conor did anything on the feet to Khabib in the third round. He kind of just outpointed him, and Khabib was actually the one that that knocked down Conor in round number 2. So I have to put it above the max fight for sure. I'm gonna put it in B tier. That's a tough one to rank. Next up, we have Conor versus Dustin Poirier 2. We got Ball Conor here. This was another one. This one was really unique because it was Conor during a very small arena. It wasn't a small arena. It was the Eddie Alvarez arena, but there was no one there practically. It was like 25% capacity, and you made it to where you could hear both Dustin and Conor's shots. This was a weird fight because Conor, as usually, like he was on the front foot, but then he started. He was in this really weird boxing stance. It was nowhere near his usual karate stance. I think it was because he was trying to get a fight with Manny Pacquiao. That I guess was close to happening, but obviously UFC would never approve that. So I think Conor was training for a boxing fight, but just took this fight because he could. And he just thought he would walk through Dustin because he did in their first fight, and we'll rank that later. But this was a really exciting fight because Conor looked pretty decent. Dustin was landing some good shots. Dustin took him down. Conor immediately got up, landed some shoulder strikes, then it got back onto the feet. And Dustin was beating up Conor's leg, but Conor's landing some vicious left-hand to uppercut combinations. So this was a pretty good fight. I think I'm going to throw it above the Khabib fight just because more damage happened. And then Dustin Poirier knocked out Conor McGregor in round 2, which not a lot of people expected. So that made this fight even more exciting, way more exciting than the Khabib fight. So I think I'm going to throw DP and Conor's second fight into top of B tier for now. Then we got Marcus Brimage versus Conor McGregor. This was the debut of Conor McGregor, and what I like about this is that Marcus Brimage just went at him like he never studied Conor tape before. He went at him and landed a few good shots, by the way. Marcus landed a few clean ones on Conor, but Conor landed such a mean uppercut on him. It was so quick. It was like an uppercut and then a 1-2, I believe, that put out Marcus Brimage very quickly into the fight. So it was exciting for as long as it lasted, but it was a pretty quick finish. I mean, Marcus didn't like rock Conor or anything, so I think I'm gonna throw it in C tier. Yeah, because I mean, these short fights are gonna suffer. Then there's quite a few of them. Conor finished a lot of them, but because Conor's been in a few wars, and those are just gonna rank higher for sure. So I think I'm gonna throw. I think I'm gonna throw it behind the Holloway fight because it was more of a showcase for Conor in this fight. It was pretty exciting seeing his grappling and seeing him throw all kinds of kicks against Max Holloway. It was just an immediate finish for him against Brimage. So I think I'm going to throw it at C tier for now. Then we got Conor McGregor versus Dennis Seaver, and same thing. It's like this is a lamb to slaughter. This is like they put Dan Henderson against like Carlos Prates right now. That's basically what this fight was. It's just this old head taking on the best fighter from the new generation, and like he got like a takedown, but Conor immediately got back up and then just pummeled him with 1-2s to the body against the cage. Am I gonna throw in C? Like it's hard to rank these fights because it was a mismatch. You know, it wasn't competitive like these. There's no way I could put these in the same category. Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw. Like, was it more impressive in the Brimage fight? No, because it's Dennis Seavers. I think I'm gonna throw this one in C tier. And then we have yet again another early Conor fight, but this one was his first main event. The UFC posted that this was his first main event, the Seaver fight. That's just not true. Conor fought Diego Brandao in the main event of UFC Dublin first, and then he beat Seaver in like Boston. So I don't know why UFC promoting that. This was his first main event against Diego Brandao, and this I think I'm gonna put this one B tier. This was a good fight because Diego Brandao was landing some good shots on Conor McGregor. Landing good kicks as well, and then he even tried to take him down, and then tell you, man, Ilia Topuria is just copying Conor's career. So he went for a judo throw, and Conor reversed and then landed on top and landed some brutal elbows on Brandao, and then they got up, and then Conor landed, I think it was a big uppercut Conor landed on Diego Brandao, but this was another absolute scrap early in Conor's career. It was way more competitive than Seaver and Brimage. Brandao actually put up a decent fight. And yeah, this was our first showcase of like Conor's like really underrated like ground and pound. He has some good ground and pound. He showed that in this fight, and it was exciting for as long as it lasted. So I think I'm gonna throw the Brandao fight in B tier. Next up, we have Conor McGregor versus José Aldo. How do you rank this fight? It was 13 seconds, but it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable because this was supposed to be like Conor's first real test. Like yeah, Chad Mendes, but Chad Mendes took down short notice, and Chad Mendes. Well, actually, we'll talk about Chad Mendes fight later because that obviously is on this list. But Conor versus Jose, how do you rank this fight? Because obviously Poirier McGregor 1 is a better fight. We got to see more. So I think I'm gonna throw. I think I'm gonna do this for now, and then I guess we'll put it behind the Khabib fight because I guess we'll just base it off the aura. But man, Conor put out Jose in 13 seconds. Absolutely nuts. If we got to see more of them actually fight, then it would probably be A or S tier. But man, one of the wildest finishes in UFC history. Who would have expected Conor to knock out, arguably the best fighter at that time in 13 seconds? So absolutely nuts. I think I'm gonna throw in B tier. It's like, how do you rank some of these? Then next up we have Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 1. I think we're gonna throw this at the top of A tier for now because it was just like Conor versus Nate 2, where Conor McGregor was beating up Nate Diaz in round 1. Then by round 2, Conor started slowing down. His first time with these extra 25 pounds on him at welterweight, and he gassed out. Nate Diaz put the pressure on, and Conor went for a takedown. On Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz took his back and submitted him, and then it also produced such an iconic photo where Nate Diaz looked like he just went through a blender, but somehow came back, took out Conor McGregor. It's got to be A tier. This was a really good fight for as long as it lasted, and the second one was just even better. So I definitely think this is definitely a good A tier pick. Yeah, I think Poirier McGregor belongs here because the knockout was very unexpected, and it was a good fight for as long as it lasted. It really was. Then we got Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez, and what a masterclass. Now, this is ranking Conor McGregor fights. This isn't ranking Conor McGregor performances, because if it was, then this would be easy S tier. But I'm not going to put it in S tier because it was pretty one-sided. Eddie couldn't land a takedown. Eddie landed a couple leg kicks, and that's about it. It was very one-sided, but it was definitely better than the Khabib Conor fight. It was definitely way more exciting. So I think I'm going to keep this at A tier because of just how much of a spectacle it was seeing Conor put on arguably his best performance in the octagon yet. Landed every single combination he wanted to against Eddie Alvarez and showed one of the best boxing UFC has seen to date. Absolutely beautiful stuff. So I think I'm going to throw in A tier. Then we got a non-UFC fight. Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. F tier? I think it's F tier. I mean, it wasn't a good fight because Floyd didn't throw anything for 6 minutes. And because Floyd's defense is so good, all Conor was able to land was jabs and glancing left hands that were off the gloves. The best shot Conor landed was an uppercut. He landed the cleanest shot of the fight before Floyd finished him. But yeah, Conor was the only one trying for like the first 6 rounds. Then Floyd started to slowly pick it up, and then obviously Conor gassed because that's what Conor does. So Conor gassed out, and then Floyd just landed some pitter-patter shots to finish the fight. I thought he definitely could have went to the 12. They definitely wouldn't have gave the decision to Conor, that's for sure. But I feel like it could have gone to the 12th, and maybe Conor survives, and who knows, history's made. It's a bad fight. It's a Floyd Mayweather fight. What do you want from me? So I'm gonna throw an F tier. Then next up we got Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 1. You can't even see Dustin Poirier in this one. This was Conor versus Poirier, where we got Ponytail McGregor. This was pretty good for as long as it lasted because Poirier, we should have seen the signs because Poirier landed some shots on Conor in this fight. He landed some good leg kicks, and he landed some good left hands against Conor. But Conor was spamming the spinning kicks, and then his finish was brutal. So quick. Put him down for left hand and landed some brutal ground and pound. I think this definitely belongs in B tier. This was a pretty good fight for as long as it lasted. Because for a second when you're watching it, you're like, oh, the Poirier is actually not doing bad. So I think this one definitely belongs in B tier because it wasn't like it didn't go long enough for it to go into A tier. It didn't go, and it was definitely more exciting than Conor versus Max won, that's for sure. So, beautiful Conor performance. I think I'm gonna put it. I think the crowd really helped out the Brandao fight. It was such an atmosphere. And then Conor showed some good grappling as well. Brandao landed some good shots. I think I'm gonna put it bottom of B tier for now. And then next up we got Conor versus Chad Mendes 1. I think I'm gonna keep this one in A tier. This was a good fight for as long as it lasted because Conor was doing well early, but Chad Mendes landed some bombs on Conor McGregor, and that 8-inch reach advantage just wasn't there at times. So Chad Mendes was able to land some big bombs on Conor, and then he was able to get every takedown he wanted practically, and land some good elbows on Conor. And yeah, Conor was able to get up at times, and Conor was doing his thing, spamming the teeps at the body because Chad Mendes took this on short notice, so he was not going to have the cardio to get the fight. Landed good kicks to the body, left hand to the body, would switch it up and throw head kicks to the head. Was landing the left hand when he wanted to. And then second round, you know, it's near the end. Chad he could have just laid on top of him, but he tried to finish it because he knew he didn't have cardio for round 3. So Chad Mendes went for a mounted guillotine and nearly has it, but Conor scrambles out of it. They're back to their feet, and then he lands a teep to the body, and then left hand puts him down. And then he lands some ground and pound against the cage, and I think it was Herb Dean stopped the fight. It was a really good fight for as long as it lasted. So I think I'm going to put Chad Mendes versus Conor McGregor in the A tier. It was a pretty solid fight for sure. And I think I'm going to put it in front of the Eddie Alvarez fight because it was way more competitive. Chad had really good success in that fight. Then next up we have Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone. This one's definitely going to go at the bottom of C tier. I'm gonna put it above the Seaver fight just because the shoulder shots. Hearing the commentators just go crazy about the shoulder shots, Paul Felder was like, "What? No way! Get out of here!" The shoulder shots. It was a funny fight. Because Conor immediately misses a left hand. Cerrone clinches up, and then Conor just goes, "Huh, huh, huh," and then they separate, and Cowboy goes for a head kick. Conor's like, "Okay, I'll copy you and do it better," and hits a head kick on Cowboy, and then lands a left hand and finishes him basically. So really easy fight, not competitive. So it definitely belongs to C tier. And then we have one more fight to rank, and this one is going to be Conor McGregor's last fight, the last fight we saw of him before this Max Holloway rematch. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3. Now, obviously, Conor, he was looking like classic Conor out there, throwing teeps, throwing spinning kicks, spamming his left hand, and Poirier was still clipping McGregor in this fight. But then Poirier goes for a takedown, and then Conor jumps a gilly, nearly gets it, but Poirier gets out of it, and then Poirier just dominates. So, oh man, the nerves I had while watching this fight. Do I throw it in B tier or keep it in C tier? I think for as long as it lasted, it was definitely better than Max versus Conor, because it was pretty competitive, to be quite honest. So I think I'm gonna keep this one in B tier. It was a pretty solid fight for as long as it lasted. And who knows what would happen in the second round? Who knows? But it was likely Conor was probably gonna slow down, and then Poirier was going to get him. But, yeah, that is the list. We only have one S tier fight, and it was one of Conor's, like, only true wars against Nate Diaz. That was a great fight. In A tier, we got the first Nate Diaz fight. Conor Poirier 2. It's definitely above the third fight because we actually got a definitive ending. Chad Mendes, the fight was really good. Eddie Alvarez is more just a Conor McGregor showcase. That was just beautiful. I think that's why I'm going to put it A tier. Then we got Khabib, Aldo, Brandao, Poirier 1, Poirier 3 in the B tier. Then we got Holloway first fight in C tier, Brimage C tier, and then we got Cowboy and Seaver, and then we got Conor versus Floyd in the F tier. I hate boxing. But that is my ranking of every single UFC Conor McGregor fight, counting the Floyd fight just for giggles. But let me know your comments. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. What's your favorite Conor McGregor fight, and which fight did I overrate or maybe underrate? I'd love to hear in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe for more UFC 329 content. God bless you all.